All right, let's talk about 3 liability coverages that should be included in your package as a nonprofit organization, especially if you're providing care to other people. The first one, base level coverage, is general liability insurance, which pays for bodily injury and property damage that you cause to others. It's going to be slip, trips, and falls are the most common types of general liability claim that you see. It would be if you've got a community center, somebody slips on the pavement outside your facility, and old Miss Johnson needs a new hip now. That's bodily injury. It's on your premises, part of your program. General liability insurance. Second part of your package product, usually gets bundled together, is abuse and molestation liability insurance. This is especially important if you are a program that provides care to others. If you're a home health agency, services to the intellectually and developmentally disabled, youth development, senior programs, homeless shelters, mental health. General liability does not pay if you cause the damage on purpose, if intentional injury is excluded. A lot of times companies will go in and specifically say, we're not paying for abuse and molestation liability. And the thing is, inappropriate relationships happen all the time. Whether it's physical, whether it's sexual, whether it's verbal. I've seen news stories where programs for the intellectually and developmentally disabled, an employee gives derogatory nicknames to one of the clients. Not particularly nice. Or you can read stories about child care programs where the employees had a little kiddie fight club. Not particularly cool. That's intentional injury. It's physical abuse. It's sexual abuse. If it happens in your program, you're going to need money for an attorney and money for a settlement. And the third part of your liability package program, especially if you're providing care to others, is professional liability. So general liability is slips, trips, and falls. It's bodily injury and property damage that you cause to others, hurting somebody or breaking something. Abuse and molestation is if you cause that damage on purpose. And professional liability is if you made a mistake. You didn't cause the damage directly, but somebody got hurt in your program and they shouldn't have. A person in your intellectually and developmentally disabled program got away. They were on a trip to the mall and you find them in a parking lot 2 miles down the street. That's lack of care. That's professional liability insurance. And when you're buying these 3 coverages, you're usually going to have the most success, get the best product, best coverage limits at the lowest price if you bundle them together. And that's why I talk about them together. The next set of questions comes down to, how do companies measure the liability exposure for you? Because that's what dictates how much you pay, right? There's 3 types of things to keep in mind that really impact your pricing for your nonprofit. One is the type of service that you offer. It's one thing to run a foundation. It's a totally different thing to run a foster care placement agency. One is much more risky than the other. One has much higher level of professional. So that gets into the second thing that companies use to measure you, which is staff. It's one thing to have an outpatient counseling program that is staffed totally by social workers. Totally different thing to have an outpatient program with a psychiatrist on staff. The level of staffing is going to impact how much it costs for your insurance. You're also going to need to get into details on your professional liability policy to make sure medical professionals are included. And the third that really impacts your pricing has to do with who you're serving, who your clients are. There's a difference between working with youth, children that are under the age of 2 versus high schoolers versus elderly with dementia versus homeless versus substance use disorder programs. The type of people you serve is going to impact how much you pay and what coverage limits are available. So there you go. We walked through the 3 key coverages that you should be looking for in your liability insurance package: general liability, abuse, and professional, and some of the factors that'll impact how much you pay. If any of this has you asking questions about your insurance program and your broker relationship, and you'd like to talk to somebody with experience in your field, please reach out to us at www.bitnerhenry.com. I'm Daryl Henry. I'm with Bitner Henry Insurance Group, and we serve those who serve others.